Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Idaho Business Podcast. As always, we're sponsored by Health West. Great organization, great team. Give them a holler where they're closest to you throughout Idaho. Give them a Google, and they will definitely take care of you, your family, and just see what they're all about. All right, everyone. Through this this pitch competition I've talked about last week and going through that whole process, one of the questions was, how are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? How are you going to build this company? How are you going to build anything without a team? What team do you have? And that got me thinking on just the teams in regular businesses, my business, and I figured, well, let's just talk about it. So if you want to build a business, build a team, not a job. Let's talk about that today. So, quick story here. As you're beginning anything, any business, your startup, you are a one-man or a one-woman band. You are doing everything. And people who start up a business, it's tough for them, I feel like, to build a team because they're used to juggling multiple balls, and wearing multiple hats at multiple times. That's just how they're wired. That's just how you're kind of trained to be. It's like you're being thrown into a lion's den and saying, okay, you got to tame this one. You got to not get eaten by this one, and you've got to continue to dodge this one because he's nippy. Yeah, that's how it is starting a business. And on top of all that, 85% of businesses that are startups, new businesses fail. So you're working your butt off to keep these things alive. So that's the reality of what life is like as a new business owner. So you're moving, you're grooving, you're building this company, and hopefully you're building some revenue, you're building some profits. And you're getting to the point where you're like, okay, I might need some extra people, but I think I got it. I can keep doing it. And either two thoughts come to your mind. Either, I got it. I'll just keep, I'd rather just keep the money and not have to hire anyone else. Okay, that's one way of thinking. Or there's another way of thinking of how much more could I really grow if I had some extra help? How much more money could I make? Or how many more people could I serve, and how many more people could I change their lives from serving or providing whatever product you provide to them if you brought on other people? Because if you have a scarcity mindset, as in, oh, I've got to protect my little universe here, it's going to stay little. If you don't ever think, okay, I'm going to bring some other people in, grow it, your universe will stay pretty small. But if you have that abundancy mindset of like, what can I accomplish if I bring some smart people in, smarter than me? I know that's hard for many of you to think, uh, but it's real. It's reality. In the book that I just got, well, I'm still reading. It's Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. He says, if you don't have a team that complements your weaknesses, you'll never scale beyond your capacity. So you've got to be willing to acknowledge that you have some weaknesses and find some people that can complement those weaknesses to help you scale. Okay, so it's not about just hiring warm bodies. It's about building a strong, incentivized, value-driven team. Okay, let's get into it today. So as we're going into this, as we're talking about this, think about it. Like, the abundancy mindset compared to the scarcity mindset. And just think, where do you fall? Where do you fall currently as you're running your businesses or you're leading your businesses? Are you are you you're thinking, oh, I've got to keep all this for myself because this is my little universe, but it's a big universe for me. But how possibly could I get any bigger by bringing on someone else because they're just going to screw it up? Or do you have the mindset of like, hey, I'm going to bring on some real pushers and shakers, and there's some smart people out there that can do things probably better than me, uh, and they're going to really help me grow this thing if I'm clear, concise, and incentivize them to make the right moves because they'll know how to do it. Okay, let's roll. So you can't grow if you are the lid on everything. A team should do three things: take the weight off your shoulders, excel at things you're weak at, bring new skills and insights to the table. The biggest mistakes founders make is thinking they have to be the best at everything. And that's also from Patrick Bet David. I keep saying his name wrong. From the book, Your Next Five Moves. If you want a business you can scale, you need a team that functions without you. And that's sometimes for these people who, especially who have started companies and not just bought companies that are already running, that's a novelty idea in their minds. That's just like, though, that's a fairy tale. How could anyone do the job without me being there, telling them exactly how to do it and micromanaging them? Well, it's a possibility, people. Um, I've given this example multiple times before. If they have come up with the technology and the know-how for decades now, I don't know when the first heart surgery or first heart transplant was, but if they could come up with that, I'm guessing it's been decades though now, and have been able to pass that know-how along from the first person who invented that surgery to all of these doctors nowadays, these surgeons who are doing it. I think you can teach people how to do certain tasks in your business. It's not that hard. Many of you, and this is me including, uh, I've been there before, where I have a job. I used to have a job in my business that I'm like, oh, it's scheduling all these 60 to 80 employees every night at different locations, and each location's a different time, and they're all over town, and they have to be scheduled in geographical areas. And oh my gosh, no one else can do this. And I had a consultant say this exact same thing to me about the heart surgeon, and it makes you feel dumb because you're thinking, okay, yeah, I can do this because again, if they can pass down that incredible know-how to save someone's life by putting someone's heart from this body into that body, you can teach someone how to schedule, you can teach someone how to roof, you can teach someone how to process a loan, you can teach someone how to uh, talk to a difficult employee, whatever it may be. You can train people how to do it. It just takes a little bit of organization on your part and know-how. And I've talked about this before, where when you're trying to pass something on to someone else, you got to go through your own mind and think, how do I do this? When this problem comes up or when this task comes up, how do I accomplish it? Okay, well, step one on this, I put all this information out. you know, I see, I don't know what I'm trying to allude to, but you just, I'm trying to come up with two different scenarios or three different scenarios for three different positions at one time. But each scenario you come across has a role, I mean, a line of instructions that you put in your head that you do instinctively. You just got to put down on paper. Okay, when this happens, I do this. If this happens, then I do this. But what if this happens? Okay, well, if that happened, I would do this. Write that whole thing down and then give it to the person who you want to be doing that task and watch them make it their own. Okay? All right. So incentivize for growth. This is where we talk about, Why salary only structures fail to motivate long term. Align team success with company success. Bonuses, profit shares, clear goals are are are, uh, are some of the things that you need to be thinking about. Um, Compensation drives behavior. This is also from your next five moves. Everyone rows in the same direction when incentives are tied to the business goals. So we've experienced this in the how not to do it, and we've experienced in this in how to do it the right way. Before we've just given a overall, here's your salary, here's what I need you to do, and it didn't turn out as well as we'd hoped it to be. Um, I think for certain type of people, um, they can do that. But if you really want to accomplish good things and scale your company, align your goals in your company with the compensation with your key employees, and even your other employees that are, on the ground level. Even if you're a tire shop and you're trying to get, so many rotations or so many whatever it is a day or whatever, maybe there's some kind of incentive to do for these employees to move faster or to make sure every lug nut is on at a certain pressure as you test things. Yeah, I'm not a professional in those realms. This is me just spitballing, but for our business, like I said before, we've been there before where we've given just a blanket salary, and now we're here now where we incentivize with uh, how well our team runs for our manager. How many, we judge them on how many complaints they're getting per month, uh, the variances when it comes to hours worked compared to hours scheduled. These are all things that our managers can get bonused on if they're done, if they're doing their job correctly and managing people correctly. So, since we've instituted some of this stuff, it's made us more profitable. It's helped us scale better, and our managers have made more money. We've just changed the way that they get paid. It's just a little bit different. But now they have something they're working towards every month because their compensation's tied to it. And if they're a true core values fit within your company, they care about it. They want to see your company grow. Okay? Let's go forward. We talked about culture, core values, and key decision making. We talked, the core values are the rules of the game. We've talked about this in the past. If your team uses them to make a decision, you'll stay aligned. Empower them to act, even if they mess up. Praise the intent when it aligns with your values. So that's what we say to all of our whole team. The rules of the game are, be honest, um, work together, make money, and have fun. If you're obeying those rules and you're making decisions based off of those rules, we're not gonna have a problem. There may be a better way to make that decision next time, and if there is, we'll talk to you about it. But if you made a decision and it's maybe a little bit different than possibly I would have done it, but it still accomplishes the same goal and no harm done, I'm not going to say anything. And that's something we have to think about as leaders. We can't critique things just because they accomplished the same goal in a different way that we did. As long as there was no damage done or the rules weren't broken, we just have to say, okay, hands off. People have different ways to get to the same goal. Let them be them. Okay. All right. Discuss better ways without criticism. The strength of your culture determines how often you have to intervene. This is again from your next five moves. Love this book. Would recommend this to anyone. Okay. Defining success and measuring it. Make success measurable. KPIs, clear goals, transparent expectations. Define failure too. Don't leave it vague. Don't leave it vague. I've done that before. Hey, this is what we expect you to do. This is what your job is. You're going to manage these people over here. You're going to do this. Um, okay, go for it. Oh man, that's tough. They don't know what success looks like. They don't know what success looks like to you or to the company. Help them understand that. Show them what the green light looks like in your company. Show them what the red light looks like for your company, and let them build their way to that green light and to success. Give them all the tools that you can to help them to be successful. Train them, as much as you possibly can. Give them everything they need, but make it clear to them what's winning and what's losing. Create a culture where performance is talked about openly, not behind closed doors. People want to win, so give them a scoreboard. And this is where we can be better at. And it's not just about money or revenue, guys. It's about, certain KPIs we can talk about with our teams. Hey, we need to, decrease our attrition rate, our turnover rate. We need to, if we can, and it's not just like, hey, let's decrease it. Let's actually have some real data to look at here. Okay, well, if we decrease it by 5%, that's going to make your job a little easier because you're not going to be training as much. It is going to save on our recruiting costs, our uniform costs, our training costs, all that kind of stuff. It's going to help the bottom line, but we have to help them understand in measurable, clear ways. So whatever KPIs are, share them with your team. Okay. You don't always have to say, hey, we're $1 million company now. I need to be at $3 million in 3 years. Okay. You can just stick to the KPIs and clear goals. So, in summary, guys, build a strong team, incentivize the right way, empower with values, measure success. Those are the things that we need to be thinking about as we're building this team. You can find people that will change the trajectory of your business. You will find people that will help you unify your business. You'll find people that will help create even a better culture for your business if you allow them to. If you can take your hand off that micromanagement remote control and allow them to be them. And let them make the decisions how they will make the decisions, not just, oh, that's not the way I would do it. Who cares how you do it? Let them do it. As long as they're not, disregarding the core values of the company and they're still accomplishing the same goal, who cares? Let them roll. Okay? So what's one thing you're going to change this month to start building a team instead of a job? And if you already have a team, I would love to, for you to connect with me, share how you've structured your teams and what successes you've had, even some learning experiences you've had. So feel free to connect with me on Facebook, any of our social platforms. We'd love to learn about that kind of stuff. So as always, guys, find a way to, be happy, be grateful, and find opportunities to serve others. We only got one turn at this life, one chance. Without sounding like Eminem or Slim Shady, I found myself getting too far that way right now. We do make it worth it. Enjoy our time here. Enjoy our loved ones. Enjoy our teams. Enjoy what we're doing for making money. So, like I said, go out there, have a great week. Adios, guys. See ya.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.